Dover Motor Speedway. Since 1969, the Monster Mile has been chewing up cars and spitting out champions. It's not just a nickname. The Monster lives up to the legend. Mistakes here don't cost seconds. They cost races. The only way to escape the Monster is through. Don't miss a second of the speed and survival that is Dover Motor Speedway. Live only on KnappDaddyRacing. This is the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series at Dover Motor Speedway. We are live.
Ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls, welcome to the Monster Mile. Live here from Dover International Speedway, Dover Motor Speedway. This is the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series, here live only on KnappDaddyRacing. As always, my name is Hunter Foley, and I'm up here with my broadcast partner, Jonathan Smith. And we are ready for some Dover racing. We've been excited about this one all week. First and foremost, want to give a huge shout out to the sponsors that make this thing happen. Keeps these drivers out on the track racing for something. Keeps us up here in the booth. This is the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series. Shout out to Sunbelt Rentals for being our series sponsor this year. We appreciate them. Be sure if you have any sort of construction project, whether that be just a small residential job around the house or something as big as a commercial or industrial project, Sunbelt Rentals has the equipment that you need, and they have the know-how to make sure that you get exactly what you need, get it right the first time. I've worked in the construction industry myself for about the last 4 years, and Sunbelt Rentals has always made sure that both myself and the companies I work with are taken care of. Again, huge shout out to Sunbelt Rentals. They have taken care of me, and they will take care of you. Thank you, Sunbelt Rentals, for sponsoring the league here. And then our shameless self promo that we get to do every single week as well. Myself and John make up KnappDaddyRacing. Started this thing just last year as an iRacing design shop. Expanded to try to be your one-stop shop for all of your iRacing needs. Check out the website at KnappDaddyRacing.com for all of your custom design template logo needs for iRacing. And be sure to check out the free content that is available on the website as well. I mean, even if you're not into iRacing yourself and you wanted to grab a t-shirt, grab a hat, support the boys, we would sure appreciate it. You can check us out here every single Monday night here for the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series. And you can also check us out live on our TikTok as often as we can. But we are very, very proud to be a part of the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series and be here with all of you lovely people every single week. As always, I think we got 12 people out there watching the stream so far, so thank you for being here first and foremost. We appreciate it, and the drivers appreciate it very, very much. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, so you don't miss any of the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series action or any of the other content that we'll be bringing you throughout the rest of the year. And as always, get loud in the comments. We will be reading them out loud on the stream. The drivers love to hear it. We love to hear it. As always, the Italian Stallion fan club is out. They're active. They're here, and they're now. Forge Val, the Italian Stallion fan club has arrived. Let's go, Frank. Hashtag free Rocky. And Brian Gibbons says that he's got a fever, and the only cure is Frank the Tank. But we appreciate all the comments. Keep them coming. We're excited to be reading them. But let me quit my yapping now and turn it over to my broadcast partner, Jonathan Smith. John, Monster Mile, what are we looking at tonight?
Yeah, man, this is either a track that you're going to love it or hate it. There's kind of no in between when you're out here at the Monster Mile. But pretty fast track to be just a mile long. It seems like this track kind of just jumps out and grabs you depending on where you're at in the track. Coming out of turn 4 especially, you'll be getting in the gas and it seems like the car is floating pretty good, and all of a sudden you're into the wall. So really protecting that front right is going to be a big thing tonight. But yeah, I'm excited to get going. I know we got some interviews lined up here for 8:15 and I believe 8:17, so can't wait to talk to those guys and see what's going on the track.
Definitely been trying to incorporate more and more interviews as the year has gone on, and it's been really great getting to know these guys and not only talk to them after the race, but try to talk to them during the race as much as we can. I mean, we have stuff to learn from these guys. Maybe the people at home have something they can learn from these guys, but just a couple little tidbits about what we're doing tonight. Like we talked about earlier, we are here at Dover. We are doing 200 laps here tonight. They are going to be racing with a 65% fuel capacity. One fast repair, meaning that if you get into an accident over the course of the race, one time you can bring the car in and get it fully repaired back to 100% in the same amount of time it would take you to do your typical pit stop, which is really, really cool. And we're doing stage breaks at 50 and 100. These are traditional NASCAR stage breaks where a yellow flag will be thrown and you do get points for where you finish. 10 points goes to the first place, down to 1 point for 10th place. And then I believe we do have our Fearless Race Control in the lobby with us tonight. So shout out to Joe Hutchings for doing a wonderful job on race control. I know the drivers all appreciate it very much, and we appreciate it too. We talk about all the time how that is not a job we would want to do. So shout out to you, Joe, for taking care of that, and happy birthday last week. And then I believe there is a little bit of a roster change active tonight. Previously on the Rogue Energy Race team, we have seen George Jewell throughout the season, and I believe he has some things going on that just have him not behind the wheel right now, so be thinking about him, obviously. And in the meantime, Jeremy Gardner has stepped up to replace him. He's going to be driving the number 36 car tonight for Rogue Energy Racing, and also currently has the fastest practice time with a 23.24.
Yeah, not bad, you know. We're going to miss George Jewell out here. I was throwing down some good runs, had a really good run last week, but if you had to replace him with a driver, I mean, it looks like Jeremy Gardner looks like he knows what he's doing out here at Dover especially, so see if he can go out here and knock something down and pick up a second win for that Rogue Energy Race team, as Craig Bontrager pulled it through last week, but I don't want to keep him waiting too much longer. I do have Jake Euler here in the waiting room for us. Jake, you got a copy with us?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Hanging in here.
Well, we're out here at the Monster Mile here at Dover. It's kind of a tricky track to manage here. What are your thoughts on Dover coming into here tonight?
Well, you know, it's it can be a really fun track, or it can be a really not so fun track. Just keeping myself off the wall and keeping those tires nice and fresh and try not to wear them out quickly, I think is the key for tonight, especially for me. So.
Yeah, different styles and strategies here between taking the low line, especially in 3 and 4. I've seen some people take that high side and try to really diamond it out. Do you have a specific strategy you're looking for tonight?
You know, I've had some luck entering the turns high and exiting low. We'll see. I mean, it's you know, a lot of my racing decisions based off of everybody else. So it's a tight track, not a lot of room for error. So we'll just do our best.
Absolutely understand that. You got to be able to adapt and change to what other people are doing out there on the track. But before I let you go, any sponsors or shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out Bravo Technology Partners. They're outsourced support company here in the United States. So I'd like to shout them out. They're a great partner of mine. So yeah, that's really all I got.
Yes, sir. I don't want to keep you waiting too much longer. I'll let you get some good practice laps in there. So good luck tonight. We're looking forward to seeing you back here to the end of the race, hopefully pulling into that victory lane that I know you can pull in now with a new update. So looking forward to seeing you then.
All right, 10-4. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
Take care.
That is Jake Euler had a really good run last week, man, at Charlotte, just putting it down. I think the tires burned up near the end. I think he fell back. I believe it was going to be P5 possibly, maybe P6, but was up there in the front for a long time last week.
Absolutely great run by him last week. Been running really consistent all season long as well.
I'm trying to see if we're going to have another person come up in here in a second. What I would like to do is have a track walkthrough. I mean, we could also just jump in and surprise them, you know?
In the middle of like a team meeting, going over their strategy of how they're gonna go out here and try to win this thing, and we're just like, "What's up, fellas?"
Yeah, maybe we'll catch him after the qualifying and just see what he's up to there. But I don't want to disrupt anybody right before the team meetings going in, trying to do a few different things. But yeah, man, this is going to be a fun race. It's going to be a lot of tire management. Last week was kind of a weird one, I think, with the tire management. A lot of guys saying that, like, no matter how much you were saving, it still didn't matter at the end. It just seems like it fell off. But Ryan Moyer last week, super, super fast out there. And then Craig Bontrager able to hold him off in those last 2 laps to really just seal that victory. First one for RER, so good week for those guys.
I was going to say, it's a pretty great lead-in. I got Rusty Rafferty in the comments, as always. Let's go RER, all caps. It was good to see. The RER guys have been running really consistently all season long, and Craig especially just dealt with so much bad luck at the start of the season, and to see him go out there and get one, especially over really, uncharacteristic tough night out there at Charlotte. To see him pull that one out was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I think these guys are about to go to a driver's meeting here soon or in a second. Some of them will still be on the track during that meeting. I don't blame them. This track's going to be tough. I'm watching a lot of guys out here spinning off turn 2, and I know that's kind of a thing. You have to be very gentle on the throttle coming out of these turns. I just raced here with my league. What was it, last week? Definitely didn't do so well, so taking tips from me might not be the best. We were in the Gen 4 cars, so it was a little bit different. But these cars, man, once the tires start wearing on them a little bit, they will get really loose coming out of there. The good thing about these cars, though, is if you do hit your brakes and kind of lock up your brakes a little bit, you'll be able to save that slide. So expect to see some of that tonight. As these guys come off and start to get sideways, you might see them lock it up and try to keep it straight.
Yeah, and there's definitely a strategy there for that, too, like you were talking about. You might be able to save it if you get on the brakes quick enough, but it's just... Dover's going to do one of two things, really. You're either going to see a lot of really close, tight, fast racing, especially for a track that's only a mile long. And if people start really getting in their rhythms and are able to kind of run the race like they want to run it, that's when you're going to start to see it spread out a little bit. I mean, this is a race that could be over in 55 minutes. This is a race that could be over in an hour and 55 minutes. It's like that. It's going to be that big of a difference based off of just how things are going, but either way, it's definitely sure to be exciting. I know we're dealing with a lot of different folks in here who, some of them, this might be one of their favorite tracks, and others who were probably a little less excited, we'll go with, on coming to Dover.
Yeah,
kind of like me when we go to Watkins Glen.
Definitely not on the top of my list. Watkins Glen, definitely not on the top of my list either. Right turns don't do it for me, but this track is really like a bowl shape. As we're watching Cody Bullock right here going through his qualifying times. There's a few different like strategies you can do to get around here. You'll see a lot of guys push the throttle going into the corner, and then they'll lift for a second and then push it again coming out. It's kind of weird. It's like your first throttle that you hit going into the beginning of the turn helps set the car almost, and the second throttle helps rotate it back out. But it's definitely a tricky one to get. And then you're going to start seeing guys go high and diamond out and get really strong runs, but get slow entries, enter on that high side. So it's a track that's fun because you can do some good racing here coming off the corners, but it's also kind of scary and kind of like Bristol where it can get pretty tight as you're coming out of these corners and get close to each other, get thrown up against the wall.
And that high line can have a tendency to tear up your tires a little quicker as well. Like you said, especially earlier on in the runs. It can be really, really fast up there, but like you said, tire strategy is going to be a huge, huge thing here, and it's going to be a drastic fall off. I mean, when we last broadcasted for Dover, I mean, you're seeing like 2-second swings by the end of a green flag run. And so if you have someone who pitted 30 laps ago and then you have someone who pitted 10 laps ago, there's a dramatic difference there in the speeds that they're able to put down.
Now we're switching over to our newcomer, Jeremy Gardner, who is actually from out your way in High Point, North Carolina. I'm assuming that's North Carolina. It says High Point.
I don't know of another High Point.
The one and only.
The one and only High Point.
As we hop into his cockpit cam, you see he's taking a little bit lower a line than we saw with Cody Bullock earlier. A lot of people use that little walkway going across turn 3 as their breaking point. Right when you get past that, Jamie Horn is currently sitting on your pole with a 23.31. See if Gardner can move him off here. Gardner's going to take 3rd place behind Jacob Hutnick. Hutnick's been having a really strong run the past few weeks too.
He really has, and he did really well at Charlotte, I believe, too, if I'm remembering correctly, and then had a little bit of bad luck. But then again, most everybody had a little bit of bad luck at Charlotte. But Billy been seeing a lot of fast driving out of Jacob, and expecting to see a good finish out of him here tonight. He was one of the ones that was practicing really well as well. I think Jeremy Gardner had the fastest practice time, a little bit slower in qualifying, but 3rd place is nothing to shake a stick at either.
Yeah, while we're kind of getting to the end of qualifying here, I'm trying to see what Moyer's going to do as he slides it coming around. I'm going to go up and pull up our current point standing for the Sunbelt Rentals Racing League coming into Dover tonight. So we'll flash over to that. You can see your current leader in the points is Ryan Moyer with 2 wins. Jacob Hutnick in 2nd place. Chris McCullough in 3rd, moving up a spot. Jamie Horn moving up 2 spots. It's going to be in that 4th place spot. Craig Bontrager picking up that win last week. It's going to be in 5th. Cody Bullock down a few spots after having an early race last week. Aiden Wilson's jumped up. Tyler Justice in 8th. James Fox in 9th. And Greg McConey in 10th place right now. And if we can go ahead and also shift over to our 11 through 20 with that cutoff line that you can see right there as the season's kind of getting to about a 3rd of the way through. George Jewell, we talked about earlier, is not going to be with us any longer for the rest of the season. Gardner will not be taking over his points. He will be starting from 0, but the team points will remain for that RER team. Kenneth McCullough Jr. just inside that cutoff line, and I guess Brandon Trush is going to move up actually into that 12th place spot inside the cutoff line. But for now, Simon Grills, you got Frank the Tank also in there. And it just kind of cut out there, but yeah.
New points board, though. That thing's cool.
Yeah, it just decided just to cut off on me. It said I've taken too long. So
It said quit your yapping, dude.
yeah, man, I'm
Get
just
to the racing.
trying to get through it here, but anyways, but yeah, you see the cutoff line that's coming up, and people are going to start jumping up and down throughout the season across that line, trying to secure their spot in our playoffs. It will go down to 12 drivers coming up here in the next few weeks, actually. And I'm trying
I
to
believe
pull it up.
it's at the end of June.
It is going to be June 28th. I'm sorry, July
Man, I'm
28th.
good.
July 28th. About a month
Dang
off.
it, never mind.
Yeah, that's when we go to Talladega. We'll jump to 12 drivers in our round of 12, and then Bristol as well. Then it'll go down to a round of 8 at the Roval on August 11th. That's going to be tough. Homestead is going to be the week after. After that, we're not going to jump down to a round of 4 or don't know more than that per se, but we will have a championship race at Phoenix. So I guess we will go 12, 8, 4. But at Phoenix on 8/25 of this year at Phoenix, that's one of my favorite tracks. That's going to be a fun race, man, for a championship.
Oh, man, that's going to be so much fun. This league's been really fun to broadcast, to be honest with you. I'm looking forward to seeing how this thing continues to develop. And I think it's really be one of the kind of up-and-coming big-name leagues out there. You know, there's a lot of leagues to choose from, and I think the Sunbelt guys do a really good job of making a good product that makes it not only easy for us to broadcast, but encourages good drivers to show up and race their best. And I think when you have those things and you have a set of rules that encourages both hard racing, but also, you can't get out there and do crazy stuff. I think that's when you have a recipe for something really, really special.
Yeah, especially the point system they have in this league, man. It just incentivizes competitive driving, but also good driving, because there's other leagues out there that have a point system set up where it incentivizes competitive driving. Like, you want to be at the front, you're going to get a point for every lap. I mean, there's other leagues that also have the opposite of that, which incentivizes very conservative, and this is a good mix. You want to be at the front, you want to get those stage wins, but at the same time, you want to make it to the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And they do hand out bonus points as well for 0 incident points, which is really tough to do, especially at a track like Dover where you're going to be having that tire wear over the course of the race. It's going to want to throw you up into the wall. So, I mean, that's not just incidents with other drivers, that's incidents on the track too. So that encourages driving as safely as possible at all times.
Kenneth McCullough Jr. spinning around the finish line there. We'll hop on board with Greg McConey as he takes his qualifying lap out here. I'm showing 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3 people have not taken a qualifying lap at all.
I'm showing significantly more than that, but I think some people might have messed up the run a little bit. I see Jake Euler actually in the race chat saying boogered that one. So I'm assuming he attempted to put down a qualifying lap and it just didn't go that way.
Yeah, I got Craig Knoll has not taken a lap. Well, I guess I counted Joe Hutchings, who is not taking a lap, who is our race control. He will not be taking a lap. And Dylan Canova has yet to take a lap tonight. And then Greg McConey's going to move up to 10th place right there. Kenneth McCullough Jr. took 1 lap and spun out there. Ryan Moyer got about a 10th of a lap done, and Jake Euler did do 2 laps, but I don't think either one counted.
That's so frustrating when you come around and maybe you messed up the first one and you're coming around turn 3 on that second qualifying lap. You're like, oh, we got a good one. You slide it up a little too hard trying to push it out, and then just boop, there you go. Qualifying's done. Thanks for playing. You're in last.
Yeah, especially when you have these apps up like Race Labs that show your delta as you're going across, and you have, for me, for instance, I have a green bar that pops up and tells me how much faster my lap time is, and you're coming around turn 4 on your second lap with a good delta, you know you're going to move up in the standings here, and then just tap the wall, and then all the way to the back.
And then all the way to the back. But I do believe qualifying is done. The race meeting has concluded, and we are gridding these boys up.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get this grid off really quick so I can try to pull up Cody Bullock before this race goes green here.
Let's do that. Your pole winner for tonight with a 23.314 is going to the number 98, Jamie Horn. Second place is going to be Jacob Hutnick in that number 77 machine. 36 is third place is the 36 machine of Jeremy Gardner, new to the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series, and has been putting down really good times. Fourth place is going to be Tyler Justice. Fifth place, make some noise in the Italian Stallion fan club. It's Frank Marchese in 5th, Cody Bullock in 6th, Brandon Trush in 7th, Christopher McCullough in 8th, Jae Vaught in 9th, Greg McConey in 10th, Austin Norris 11th, and that is the end of drivers who put down a qualifying lap. Ryan Moyer is going to be 12th, Dylan Canova 13, Jake Euler 14, Kenneth McCullough Jr. 15, and Craig Knoll will be starting in 16th. See Joe Hutchings up there. He is our race control again. Thank you, Joe. We appreciate you, but he will not be in a car out on the track.
While we're sitting here, I did get the okay just to go ahead and pull him up from where he is at. If I can find him here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to because of how Discord operates. We're going to try to hop on with Cody Bullock for a second here.
Yes, sir.
There we go, man. I was trying my best. Didn't realize how many chats Discord had on the left-hand side. I was trying to pull you up, man. But coming into Dover tonight, how are you feeling about this track and getting around this place?
It's a little sketchy. There's that hump coming out of 2 is a little sketchy, but other than that, I mean, I don't think I have great fast speed to be, running up front, but I think I have enough to keep my tires good to where they might shuffle out to me and being up front.
Yeah, I love a strategy like that. I want to ask you about fuel before we get going green here, and I'll let you go. How many laps of fuel are we looking at tonight before we have to pit?
I think about 55 to 60 should be around roughly what it is.
Yeah,
I think.
Just
So
enough to get a good stage break win in there. But I'm going to let you go before we go green here. Good luck tonight. Have fun. Keep it straight.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys very much.
Yes, sir. You too.
Take care.
Nice little quick interview. I don't want to disrupt what they got going on here before we go green. Short track to pace at, so we don't get a lot of time to talk. But
speaking of pace, the pace car is off. Craig Bontrager saying, let's go RER, get you some. We are green flag racing at the Monster Mile. 77 of Jacob Hutnick gets out to a really good start there. Jamie Horn falling right behind him in second. Jeremy Gardner right there in that 36 machine. Right there with his teammate Tyler Justice.
I'm curious to see how hard they're going to push it up front to start this race. Because, I mean, you can really get going and get out ahead here. This is a track that you can separate, just you two, like the leader in second place. But depends on how much you want to tear it up that early.
Yeah, like you said, it's all going to be pit road strategy. It's going to be a lot of tire strategy here. And just being able to manage, too. I mean, we've seen guys like Jamie Horn before. Really, really great driver when it comes to saving tires. And you never know how these guys are going to be able to pull something off here. You see Jamie be able to make that pass there, go back into the first position. Got 28 people watching this thing right now. Thank you very much for being here. Got Jacob Lanky out in the chat saying Big Daddy Gardner and Jamie Libke, vroom, vroom, go RER. A lot of good luck for the RER guys right now. Jeremy Gardner in the 36 in third. Tyler Justice in the 33 in fourth.
Cody Bullock taps the wall just a little bit there. He's going to fall back some. That is going to put him back in seventh place, just down one spot from where he started. Still plenty of time. Just got to make sure he keeps that thing clean. Meanwhile, Tyler Justice moving up through the pack on the top side of Frank Marchese. Marchese's got his teammate Greg McConey there on the top side as well. Oh, gets a little loose too.
Yeah, he did. There's a little bit of wobble there from Greg McConey. It is a really good track to be near a teammate. 'Cause like you said, this is a track where you can't get a little bit loose, you can't get kind of wobbly coming out. And so being able to have a teammate near you that knows how you drive and is able to kind of read those things happening would definitely be to their benefit. Jeffrey Trush saying, let's go number 23. Pulled for the 23 of Brandon Trush, currently running back there in the 12th position.
Marchese's kind of got a bump there, trying to get around Tyler Justice. Who's your pick for the night? Don't take my pick. I've already got it written down.
Well, then you go first.
My pick for tonight is going to be Jacob Hutnick. Going to be picking up his first one here tonight. Has some great runs, man. He looks good tonight already. I got the 77 car pulling into the victory lane at the end.
Very literally pulling into the victory lane at the end, since you can do that at Dover now.
Thank you, iRacing.
Thanks, iRacing. I've got... let's go with the new guy, Jeremy Gardner. Jeremy Gardner's going to get it done. 36 machine Jeremy Gardner. Really fast in practice. Currently running in third. Looks like he's doing a good job running the line he wants to, but he's right behind Hutnick, who's your pick there. And then I don't normally go any extra picks, but I'm going to do one tonight. More of just like a little side parlay. 23 of Brandon Trush, top 5.
Ooh, that's a good one. I was going to have him top 3.
Okay, just one up me.
I mean, it's like the over-under, you know?
Fair enough. Yeah.
I got him over 3.
Yeah. And it looks like. Let's see.
If you're going with him in top 5, I'm gonna put McConey in my top 3.
Okay. I should be writing all of these down at this point.
Ooh, Marchese, good move right there. Slides around, right on the bumper of Justice. Justice with a great move to block.
Got Kathleen Trush saying, Team Trush number 23. Jamie Lipke saying, LOL, Gardner is not a new guy. I mean, putting times down like that at Dover, I know he's not new to racing. He's new to me, though.
Yeah, new to us. The car is older.
Just new to me, that's all. Like I say, if you're down here putting down 23 twos at Dover, I do not assume that you started doing this yesterday.
Could you imagine though? How would that make you feel?
Horrible. It made me feel horrible.
Yeah, he's got that same nice 36 Rogue Energy blue raspberry car. Good looking paint scheme there. But right now, Jamie Horn is kind of running away with it for a second. Jacob Hutton kind of keeping pace with him. That's kind of what you have to do here, man. You have to kind of measure yourself and measure the guy in front of you and see how far they're going to go and how far you want to push it.
100%. Like we were talking about earlier, you got stage breaks at 50 and 100. At least from what Cody was talking about just a second ago, probably have enough gas to get there. I do not know if you'll have enough tires to get there. I feel like 50 lap old tires at Dover is going to be a little rough, but do see Jeremy Gardner there make a move around the 77 machine of Jacob Hutnick, move his way into second. He's going to be trying to run down Jamie Horn. He's got about a second lead built up right now. And just some updates on the further back part of the crowd here. Looks like Christopher McCullough and Craig Knoll are no longer on the track. Don't know if they had some internet issues. I didn't see any sort of incidents really happen, but Christopher McCullough and Craig Knoll no longer on the track.
Yeah, I tried to cut to Christopher McCullough earlier because I saw him go off the track. I got a notification saying he entered pit road, so he has not came back out yet, and my cameras will not locate to him, so I'm assuming he's maybe temporarily checked out for the night. Might be back.
Yeah, I did see where he had actually disconnected, so maybe called it a night. Maybe he's going to be back a little later. We will see. Maybe he's spotting for Kenneth. Who knows? Kenneth is currently back there in the 10th position right now. Got Cody Bullock right there behind him. And then Brandon Trush looking like he's going to be trying to make a move, get his way into that 11th spot.
Yeah, something kind of unique about Dover is when I see guys down 5 spots like Cody Bullock, Brandon Trush, Austin Norris down 2, Jae Vaught down 5. Kind of have to think that these guys might be saving it. They're going to be able to push towards the end and get a little bit closer. Right now, they've allowed Jamie Horn to get a 7-second gap on him, almost 8-second gap. A little bit tougher to come back to, but we have 200 laps here, a lot of time. There's going to be a caution at some point. I'm going to call it.
I mean, if they go 200 laps without a single caution, that would be one of the more impressive things I've ever seen. But you never know. I mean, like I said, I really do think we had a rough week in terms of cautions last week at Charlotte, but I do feel like that was very uncharacteristic. So definitely seeing a very safe race out of these guys so far. But I mean, either way, you got the stages and stuff going to come into play as well.
Yeah, Ryan Moyer is kind of making his way through the pack. He's your biggest mover so far tonight. Up 9 spots. Hutnick gets a little loose on the top side. McConey's going to shoot under.
So we say it's going to allow Greg McConey to get there on the inside.
I just noticed his car says Free Rocky on the side.
He had warned us that they were going to be coming in with a new paint scheme. Hashtag Free Rocky.
Free my boy Rocky. He ain't do nothing.
He ain't do it. Ryan Moyer able to move his way up into the top 3. Greg McConey also able to get around Jacob Hutnick there. I'm going to move himself into the 4th spot. Got a couple of RER teammates tailing right behind Hutnick. Dylan Canova currently running 6th in the 34 machine, and Tyler Justice in that 33. They're working their way up.
Yeah, RER has, let's see, 3 drivers in the top 10 right now.
Sounds like a good team points night is well underway.
Yeah, we're missing our winner from last week, Craig Bontrager, who did not check in tonight for the race.
He was in the comments, though, saying, let's go RER, get you some. So he's out here still supporting. We appreciate you, Craig. And again, congrats on that big win last week.
Going back here to Kenneth McCullough Jr., he is up 5 spots. During qualifying, he did spin out in his first lap, so he did start a little bit further back than I think he would like to. But moving his way up now, he's in 10th place, trying to chase down Jake Euler, who was also up 5 spots. And it looks like Trush is going to get around Kenneth McCullough Jr. The Trush starting to make a push.
Yeah, he's been working his way up a little bit for the past couple laps. Saw him work his way around Cody Bullock a few laps ago. Cody Bullock back there in 12th position now. Got Austin Norris, the other driver for Trash Panda Motorsports. Saw him get a little bit loose right there. But he's trying to hold off Austin Norris. But Brandon Trush moving his way up and forward. The hood on that car looks awesome. Like, not to draw too many comparisons with the 23 and Jordan, but it looks like the cements, the Jordans.
Are you talking about for Trush?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's like a nice little turning pattern there.
While also having Carhartt on the side. Man after my own heart.
But so far, Jamie Horn is still your race leader by about a second over top of Jeremy Gardner here. Not a new driver, but a newcomer.
Exactly. And I think the distinction's important. But that lead has actually closed in a little bit. It's been over a second for about the last 8 or 9 laps. And just does tick back over a second right there to 1.097. But Jeremy Gardner's been racing very consistently there in second. It's been right there around a second. He closed it in. I think it got up to about 1.3. So he's definitely been able to kind of hang in there and race very consistently with him. And then Ryan Moyer in the 59 machines still back there in 3rd position. It's going to be about 2.9, just over 3 seconds now. Actually made up a 10th that last time by. But they have a huge gap on the rest of the pack. You have to go back to 5 seconds off of the leader to get to Greg McConey. And then Jacob Hutnick's going to be about another 8 tenths behind that.
Yeah, starting to get a little spaced out here. I'm trying to find any drivers are kind of close. I think our closest battle, I'm not even sure. This might actually be our closest battle between Greg McConey and Jacob Hutnick right now.
Yeah, about 7 tenths of a second.
Actually, here we go. Jake Euler and Trush.
Yeah, that just kind of kicked off. That's from Euler moving his way up there.
Yeah, I mean, Trush kind of pulled up on him in a second, though, because I was looking at our gaps up here, and the closest was about half a second, and then I looked back, and Trush had closed that gap.
Yeah, and if you actually look at that, a lead he immediately pulled out to there. Definitely must have been saving something in the tank to make a push here later in this run. That's the other thing we're going to start to see. Yeah, the drivers are starting to space out, but this is where you're really going to start to be able to see who's been saving and who's going to be, kind of sit here praying to make it to lap 50 if they've already burnt them up.
Yeah, something I really like to look at when I hop into a cockpit cam with the driver is that wheel tape right at the top. I know you've heard me say this quite a bunch, but that wheel tape is super important, especially coming around these corners. You don't ever want to really turn your wheel too much. If your wheels are turning left, your car is trying to go straight, obviously you're going to slide those front tires a little bit, create more heat, more weight transfer to that front right. So props to Brandon Trush here, barely putting a little bit of input, letting the gas and throttle do all the work for him. So he's able to get around here, save some tires, and still moving up, gaining some time.
Yeah, he's gaining time on Dylan Canova as well. He's got a little bit of time to make up. He's got about 4 seconds before he gets up there. Canova's actually trying to fight with Frank Marchese right now to move up a spot. Seems like Marchese was able to hold him off that time by, but another cockpit cam I'd love to see because we've talked about it a lot before. Jamie Horn, we know he's always been really, really good at saving tires. One City, kind of how he compares to what we're seeing out of Trush there.
Almost like we're on the same wavelength. For everybody at home that doesn't know how this works, me and Hunter are in 2 different locations. What you're seeing on your screen is what I can see, and what you don't see, Hunter is watching from a different angle. So he never knows what the camera is actually on. So if I ever go to something and he starts talking about it, that's just wavelength right there. Yeah, Jamie's doing a really good job, man. He's only turning that thing about 15 to 20 degrees. You can hear the throttle kicking in as he's coming around the corner to make that backside rotate just a little bit more for him. He's going to get right up on the bumper with Jae Vaught. Kind of move him up just a little bit. Excuse me. Don't mind if I do. Looks like he's going to get that pass there. That's not for position. That is going to be a lap down for Jae Vaught now.
It's going to be a lap down for Jae Vaught. He's going to be the first car a lap down out on the track, but Jamie does have his sights there set on Cody Bullock. See if he's able to make that pass as well. Also see Jae Vaught all the way down on the inside of the apron, looking like he's going to be bringing it down pit road this time by.
Yeah, a little early pit strategy. Do a short pit. Not a bad strategy for what he's got going on.
Yeah, especially when you're coming up on a stage caution. Get down there, get you some fresh tires, and maybe try to put a run on them in the last 13 laps of this run. Cody Bullock now going to be your first car a lap down. But Jamie Horn is going to be closing in fast on the bumper of Austin Norris out there. Looking like only a couple seconds separating those two there. Another thing to take a look at here is Ryan Moyer has closed in. We were talking about just a few seconds ago about how he was about 3 seconds off of the lead. He's closed that gap to 1.8 seconds, and he's now closing in on the bumper of Jeremy Gardner.
Yeah, we know Ryan can save. He's done a really good job. He's won 2 races here in the Sunbelt Rentals Series. He is your points leader as it stands. Gets a little loose coming around 4 there. Able to keep it together. That's going to hurt his time and his catch-up he had there.
Yeah, it's definitely going to knock a couple tenths off that run there. But Greg McConey also still running very consistent. About 7 seconds back in 4th position. Jacob Hutnick right back there in the 5th position. 7.7 back right now. Crazy how this track can separate so quickly when you kind of get everybody going single file, still trying to figure out their groove. Frank Marchese right now, who's in 7th position, is 11 seconds off of the leader, but he's got that number 10 machine right there. That's Jae Vaught, who's just brought back off of pit road, is going to have fresh tires.
I believe he's going to let Jay go here. As long as he does it quickly. Don't mess up my line too much.
Exactly. Oh, Jay all the way down onto the apron right there.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to let Jay go by right here.
When you're in this position right now where you're on lap 44, you're 6 laps away from the stage break. You know, Jay's got his fresh tires. He's just out here trying to do all he can.
Looks like Jake Euler gets into the wall just a little bit there, able to keep it straight, keep it clean. The leaders are coming back around. Jamie Horn, Jeremy Gardner keeping up pretty well. Moyer's making that push again. Stage break here at lap 50. Jamie's looking to get some points.
Just heard Cody Bullock come over the radio say, "I got a random meatball."
Wow.
He is very slow up near that wall.
See if we can see any damage on his car here. That is strange. His car looks
I believe he's.
clean.
I think he said that he thinks he has a tire going down. But we are 4 laps away from this stage break. Jamie Horn, absolute dominating performance here on this first stage. Built that lead back out to 1.8 seconds on Jeremy Gardner. Ryan Moyer now hot on the tail of Jeremy Gardner, only 0.2 of a second back.
Yeah, Moyer's going to use this lap traffic to his advantage here. Try to at least.
Saw Austin Norris hit the wall pretty hard right there, but able to keep it under control. Jake Euler comes over the racing chat saying that he's going to be pitting in this time by.
Jeremy Gardner, Ryan Moyer still fighting for it. Some really clean racing at a really tough track.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of really, really clean racing. Like you said, this is a tough track to do it at, especially with, as loose as people can get, especially on these old tires this late into a run. Very, very impressive. And we are on lap 50 here. The end of lap 50 is going to be your stage break. Jamie Horn still out there and running, over 2 seconds of a lead now.
It looks like Jeremy Gardner is going to be in second for that stage break coming around. I think every car is going to have to pass before they throw the caution for it.
So we do have a couple of drivers. Lap down here, and there she goes. Congratulations to Jamie Horn for taking that first stage here. Absolutely dominating performance out of Jamie that first time by.
Yeah, I think he led all but 2 laps maybe that whole time.
Yep, and it was the first 2. I think the first couple laps was, I think Jeremy Gardner might have gotten in the lead and gotten a couple of laps, but other than that, great run by Jamie Horn. Gonna be seeing all these guys bring it down pit road with the exception of Jake Euler, the number.
It's be Austin Norris in that 82 machine there.
Yep, 82. And Jae Vaught all going to keep it out. Cody Bullock looks like he's also going to stay out this time by. Know most of those guys pitted. Actually, I'm not sure if Cody's pitted yet, but I know all those other guys pitted earlier on in the run.
Pull up our pit stop times for you, see if somebody can gain some position. It looked like Frank overshot the pit stop. It's a miserable pit lane here at 35 miles per hour. It is like a crawl trying to get through here. Another interesting thing is we'll try to jump into Frank's car here as we're going through. If I can get there quick enough. Pit road doesn't end until this green cone. So once you pass the wall, you think you're out. You still got to maintain 35 until you hit that green cone. And that is sure to catch a few people.
Yeah, definitely going to be, especially if we start having to see some green flag pit stops. Definitely going to be on the lookout for that. It did look like Jeremy Gardner beat Jamie Horn off of pit road there. Looking like we might have a new leader going into our second stage here once we get everybody gridded back up.
And Cody Bullett's going to bring it back around. I have been given the green light to pull Cody up whenever during cautions, but I told everybody in the league that I would not do in-caution interviews before they pit or while there is a double file. I want to make sure these guys cannot blame me for anything that happens. Because I would blame somebody in a second if something happened.
Exactly. I was going to say. That sounds like really easy ammunition right there.
Oh yeah. Little fun fact here, KnappDaddy Racing made that car for Cody Bullock, that Hooters racing car. That's not the fun fact. The fun fact is I learned when I was making that car that Hooters, the font that they use is the same font as Dunkin' Donuts.
And there's your interesting design fact of the day.
Yep, go look up Dunkin' Donuts and then go look up Hooters, and it's the same exact font.
Very interesting.
So actually, I don't know if I even told Cody this, but on his car, that is not Hooters font that says stuff on the side and everything. That is actually Dunkin' Donuts font. That I have a commercial license for, by the way.
Importantly.
Yes, yeah, make sure I throw that piece in there. Because I know
Pace car is off. We are getting ready to get back to racing here. New race leader Jeremy Gardner beating Jamie Horn off pit road. Green flag racing here at the Monster Mile. Jamie Horn in second, Ryan Moyer third, Jacob Hutnick fourth, and Tyler Justice fifth. Good jump out of Greg McConey there on the high side as well. He's going to be fighting for third place.
I wonder if some of these guys kind of take it a little easier this time. You've done sized yourself up, sized the other cars up. You know what you need to do. Just got to be a little bit easier with it. Canova's on the inside of Marchese there on the back of his teammate Tyler Justice. Brandon Trush moving up behind Marchese.
Brandon Trush was really, really fast earlier on in that run. Definitely saw.
Oh, Marchese gets to the side of Canova. Canova's going to be on the wall. Still spinning around. Don't see much damage on Marchese's car. Try to get a little zoomed in version here of that Rogue Energy Sour Candy 34 car. I don't see a ton of damage, nothing that's not fixable, I should say.
I did hear Marchese also come over the radio. Very sporting fashion, said that was all me. I hit the brake, was trying to get it to turn, kept going straight. And he is going to be taking the EOL on that caution.
Yeah, it looks like Marchese actually almost had him locked up. I mean, you don't ever want to slide your tires because then you lose complete control of your car, but you could tell when he locked him up and it looked like he was moving up and towards Canova.
Looks like we're going to see Canova bringing it down pit road. I'm assuming he's probably going to use the fast repair here. It looks like Austin Norris also brought it back down pit road.
I don't even know if you would have to with the limited damage that he had.
It really didn't look that bad. We will see based on how long he is on pit road. Might be trying to save that thing for a little bit later, but we will see.
It actually looked like Marchese tried to keep him straight after he got into his left quarter there. Try to give his nose a little tap to keep the car straight and going.
Again, for anyone out there that is unfamiliar with an EOL, lots of leagues will use an EOL as a way to kind of have the guys kind of self-police themselves. So if you're the kind of the crux of an accident, then you're able to, you go to the back of the line. It's just kind of a sporting thing to do. Not a necessary thing. It's like I said, it's a self-police thing. Have a lot of respect for it. Oiler Sim Racing, Jake Oiler saying voice audio breaking up for anyone. Rusty said he had to refresh. Yeah, if anything does come up in the stream, whether that's, you notice a quality dip or it's something with the voices or whatever, definitely be sure to let us know so we can try to remedy that as quick as possible. I do know iRacing's been having some issues tonight as well. I don't know if that would play into it. It could also just be one of our internets trying to crap the bed. The weather in the Carolinas has been not good today.
Yeah, not to mention, I think I had a AT&T repair person try to play Duck Duck Goose with the power line today, and we lost internet for about 30 minutes.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, but
We are getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Thank you, Jake, for alerting us to that, though. Green flag racing after our first not stage caution. Jeremy Gardner takes the lead right back again. Jamie Horn falls in there in second place. Ryan Moyer in third. Greg McConey in fourth. And Jacob Hutnick in fifth. You are currently going to have 11 cars on the lead lap. Dylan Canova being the 11th. But he is 14 seconds off the pace after getting that car repaired on pit road.
oh, Marquez around, Jae Vaught, Cody Bullock, Kenneth Piccola Jr., Austin Norris. I missed it. I know it was on camera, but I looked down because I bumped my elbow and I was trying to see what I hit. And I looked up and everybody's spinning.
Well, we have a way to remedy that, and it's called the instant replay.
Yeah, let's see if we can use that and see what we can see by seeing. Back that up just a little bit here. Cody Bullock not having a good night. Let you get a little bit further back than this here.
While he is finding that replay, do want to say again, 21 people out there watching this thing, thank you very much. We appreciate it. The drivers really appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in with us every week for the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series.
I don't... Now, as far as what started that, I don't know. Because Cody looked like he was going up, and it looked like Marquez was also coming down. That's just hard to say, but what I'm worried about is, did Marquez's nose touch that wall coming through there? Because if so, that's going to be bad. I mean, he gets close. Wow.
I think Netcode might have saved him there.
I think so too.
But then they just start ping-ponging around. Cody gets pushed back up the track. Did just hear race control come over the radio. Cody Bullock given the EOL for that caution.
So it looks like race control made the verdict. That's why I can't do it, because it's hard for me to tell.
I think that we'll have to see, but
Craig Bontrager says Trash Panda all messed up again. If you must ask, Mike Tyson, yes. Little double entendre for Craig Bontrager. Love that. If we're referring to the panda meme, the Trash Panda meme, the raccoon.
I do see Cody Bullock still down there on pit road getting damage repaired. Jae Vaught also still down there.
It's like Marquez's able to keep it on the lead lap, though.
Yeah, I know he brought it down, but I don't know if he fast repaired. Like I said, that might be the one case where it seems like Netcode might have saved somebody. But either way, he's going to be able to keep this thing on the lead lap. I can see him speeding around right now to make it to the back of the pack. He will be restarting in 11th and still on the lead lap.
Let's try to do a restart here with Ryan Moyer on the inside row here. Mainly,
This is going to be a fun angle.
yeah, let's just see how tight they're going to keep it. Right along with Ryan Moyer right behind Jeremy Gardner in first. Got to restart in that Geico restart zone.
Pace car is off. We are restarted. Great jump for all of our top four drivers. McConey looks like he gets a little loose and touches the wall, though. He's going to lose a couple spots. 77 to Jacob Hutnick's going to get it around. And the 33 of Tyler Justice was looking for it there.
Looking at Dylan Canova following his teammate there on the high side. He's going to get stuck on that high side around his teammate Tyler Justice. Brandon Trush in that 23 right behind. Trying to catch up to Greg McConey, these two. Canova was very fast last week, had a good car. And I keep saying that, but all those RER cars are super fast last week. I think every one of them led a lap except for Justice.
Yep.
And he was leading for the whole lap, and I don't think he actually crossed the stripe first for that lap. But I mean, he was up in the front, just kind of battling out for a while. So I mean, good run by all of them. McConey gets a little loose coming out of that corner.
Yeah, I've seen McConey get loose twice on this last lap. I don't know if he's just trying to get the tired Horn back up, but Jamie Horn going to be staying in the lead here this time but Ryan Moyer looks extremely fast, and he's up there looking for it as well. Looks like he's trying to go to the high side when he gets up there, but Jeremy Gardner's still up there running in third. Jacob Hutnick fourth. They've worked their way around the 83 machine of Greg McConey, who's been up there in the top 5 all night. Dylan Canova right behind him, looking like he's trying to make a move. And behind him, you're going to have Tyler Justice and Frank Marchese.
Yeah, one of the things you don't really notice about this track when you're just watching from up top like we normally do is how much this track dips when you go into the corners. Every time you enter the corner, you're actually going to go down a little bit. Coming out of the corners, you're going up a hill. It's not like your Talladegas or Daytonas where your exits are more like a downhill slope where you can get some good speed. I mean, you're pushing uphill coming out of these corners and going into the corner when you want to slow down. You're actually going downhill.
Yeah, which is why you a lot of times we'll see, especially on like qualifying laps where people are really trying to get fast and get after it, that's where they'll spin it out. So they're trying to climb the hill and it just falls back off the other side.
Absolutely. It puts all that weight on those back tires. Man, you put more weight back there, it's more spinning.
Speaking of spinning, though, someone who's spinning their way to the top here again, Ryan Moyer takes the lead from Jamie Horn. Jamie now back in second. But we are all stacked back up in the top 5. All of them are right there. Top 5 now within 6/10 of each other.
Yeah, I mean, this track just kind of has the double whammy because you're not never supposed to, but your car is going to get more loose gassing up a hill.
Big wiggle out of Canova there, really loose.
Oh, McConey's not going to be able to get that spot there, but yeah, you're saying your car's going to get loose pushing the gas up a hill, and it's also going to get loose pushing the brake down a hill. It's kind of a double whammy here.
I did just see over the race chat there that Jae Vaught has called it a night. He was back in 14th, 12 laps down. Looks like Cody Bullock still on pit road getting some damage repaired. Ryan Moyer now starting to put quite a lead on the 98 machine of Jamie Horn. He started to pull away to almost a half a second ahead right now. And Jeremy Gardner right there on that bumper of Jamie Horn.
I don't know how many tires they brought in with them this race. Usually it's about 3 sets, but they're going to have to do a 3-stop race regardless.
Jeremy Gardner makes the pass in the 36 machine. He's now in second place. Jamie Horn back to third now. Jeremy Gardner trying to get up there and make a run on the leader, Ryan Moyer.
Yeah, Gardner's been fast. I'm not sure if Jamie Horn is kind of hanging back for a little bit just to save up. Maybe he'll make a push here the next 15 laps, but got a little bit of blinking out across the board for everybody, and that's going to be on my side, I believe.
Again, I do know that iRacing's had some server issues here tonight, and we're probably in an even worse position because we've had bad weather all day, and like you said, it sounds like the AT&T guy was playing red wire, blue wire with your power lines.
Yeah, it might have been that trash panda over there crawling up. Oh, Rocky.
Did you see back a little further in the pack? Tyler Justice has fallen back to the 8th position. Frank Marchese moved up a spot. He is now up to 7th. And he is trying to move up onto the 34 of Dylan Canova. Got about 1.2 seconds to go to get caught up there.
I got Jeremy Gardner making the pass on Ryan Moyer right now. Going to be able to clear him, take that first place spot.
Moyer immediately right back up to his bumper. It's interesting, like you were talking about in the beginning, to see kind of the different strategies that everyone's employing in terms of like getting through the corners and getting back out. It looks like Moyer's maybe staying a little bit higher consistently, and then but it looks like Gardner's getting down a little bit quicker.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like Gardner's taking that middle right through there and then almost cornering out, diamonding out the low side, which is a pretty good strategy, especially for turn 2, so you can get a good straight run coming out. Float the car all the way back to the high side because you're in the gas a lot earlier than you think, and it's the momentum that's really carrying you around this track, almost like a controlled slide. I know we talk about that a lot at tracks like Bristol, Phoenix in turn 1 and 2 is the same way. Not Bristol, but Richmond. You're kind of sliding coming through Richmond at 3 and 4, and I know with Phoenix it's 1 and 2 you're kind of sliding, kind of a controlled slide coming around there. So we cut to some of those cockpit cams earlier. You can hear the car actually sliding, spinning.
Tokyo Drift, baby.
If I had rights to the music, I'd play it. We won't have a John Deere Green Award here tonight because there is no grass.
I don't know what it would be. Sitting on the blacktop, maybe?
It's a good one. Culture Wall. I think is that reference? Yeah, there we go.
Frank Marchese up there now to the bumper of Dylan Canova, now side by side trying to make that pass. Looks like Tyler Justice, who Frank Marchese got around just a few laps ago, is also going to be able to get around Canova there as well.
I think I've seen Canova and Justice pass each other about 15 times this race.
Working on some race strategy.
I mean, they are dueling it out over there. Looks like McConey's coming up on Jacob Hutnick right now.
I was getting ready to say, looks like McConey's running the inside on Hutnick there. They almost get together right there.
Oh,
big hit off the wall.
Let's see if we can go to his cockpit just to see if he's got some wheel damage from that.
That was a pretty good lick.
Hutnick doing a really good job keeping that wheel straight up and down. I am noticing that he is shifting gears.
Interesting.
I have seen a few other drivers do that here tonight, but I've seen some others not shift gears. We jump in here with Jamie Horn running in P3 right now, just sitting behind Ryan Moyer and Jeremy Gardner, keeping it in 5th gear. But I mean, look at his lap times. You can see on the front of his screen there on his dash. 24.64, and I mean he was qualifying what, 23s?
Yep.
So that's fall off in about 30 laps. He's just kind of sizing them up. Which way am I going to go?
Yeah, he's right there on the bumper there.
He's going to take the high side.
Trying to figure out where he's going to go next.
He could have a really good run. Good run coming out.
Well, he might have gotten a little touch of the wall there. Ryan Moyer also got loose down there on the low side. 11 laps to go in this stage.
And this is the gearbox cam from Jeremy Gardner right now. As he is trying to hold off Jamie Horn in that 98 machine.
It seems like Jamie's got the speed to do it. But we talked about early in the race. He's definitely one of the drivers that comes to mind when it comes to saving tires. And it looks like he has definitely done a good job of that, because he's trying to work his way around Jeremy Gardner here. He's going to get the inside on him here.
I think Ryan Moyer might try to follow suit, go down low with him. Pull up the weather really quick on the right side of your screen. We haven't hit it yet. It was 118-degree track temperature. Got a little bit of wind, but not much to affect the car. Moyer's going to be really up high. See if he'll diamond that out and get a good run out.
And it seems like Gardner's been able to keep a really good run going on the exits as well. Jamie Horn's done a really good job getting his nose in there on entry, being all the way side by side, and just not able to complete the pass down there on that low side.
Yeah, I mean, if you're taking that low side on the inside of Moyer here, you'll be further up in the center, but coming out, Moyer's going to have a run and a half.
Moyer looked like he touched the wall just a little bit right there.
Yeah, I think Jamie's got to find a way to get to that high side so he can almost cross over. He has 8 laps to do it. Has to be a little patient here.
Yeah, because I definitely don't think he has the run down there on that low side to get around him as Ryan Moyer works his way back around. He's going to look to the inside of Jeremy Gardner, though. Let's see if he's going to be able to do the job that Jamie wasn't that last time by.
Yeah, it's just so hard running a line a whole lane down. You have to enter a little bit slower coming into your corners. You can't push as hard coming out, so it definitely slows you up to have someone on the high side all the way around.
Further back in the pack, Frank Marchese has worked his way up to 6th. He's trying to chase down Jacob Hutnick, who's about a second in front of him to get to his teammate Greg McConey. Been running very consistently up there in the top 5. He's about 2.5 seconds behind the leaders in 4th.
Running back to the front here, man. It's still a battle. Gardner's doing his best to hold him off. Touches the wall a little bit. Ryan Moyer's going to be able to get around. Jamie Horn's going to try to follow suit underneath. I think the same thing's going to happen where Gardner's going to get a good run off on that high side.
Oh, Jamie got loose there. He was trying to keep it off of Jeremy Gardner's bumper there. Killed the run that he had going. He's going to go a couple tenths back right there. Ryan Moyer now in your leader. Now your leader as we come to the end of stage 2 here. 4 to go this time by.
Still got Greg McConey in 4th place right now. He's about 1.6 behind your 3rd place spot of Jamie Horn. I mean, good driving by Jeremy Gardner, though, to hold those guys off for that long.
Yeah, that was really, really well done.
I think if he didn't hit the wall, he might have done it.
He definitely had a good run there. 84, Frank Marchese was looking to the inside of Jacob Hutnick right there, trying to make the pass to get into the top 5 before the end of this stage. Kind of seeing that same thing happen that we saw with Jamie Horn and Jeremy Gardner right there. Not quite able to complete on the low side, but Hutnick gets into the wall a little bit. Marchese able to get his way around.
There you go.
Two laps to go left in this stage. Ryan Moyer, 0.3 of a second on Jeremy Gardner and 0.6 on Jamie Horn. 2 more to go.
Tyler Justice catching up with these guys right now, trying to get one more pass before the stage break hits. You know Hutnick's falling back just a little bit too. You got to take advantage.
Yeah, Justice moved in quickly. He's already almost to the bumper of Hutnick. Don't know that he's going to be able to get it done before the end of the stage, though.
It looks like Dylan Canova's falling back just a little bit here. Same thing with Brandon Trush falling back a little bit. We will have a yellow flag coming out here. They will be able to regroup, get it together. No more stage breaks after this, though.
I think we're just waiting for the next time by to get the lap down driver.
But I think regardless, I believe the way they calculate these points is whoever crosses the line at 101.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if we're even going to have a stage break here at lap 100.
We should be.
We should be.
And there she goes.
Called it.
Sorry, I was trying to... I apologize. I was trying to hold in a laugh there. I was listening to the radio. And I think Cody had to check out and do something. And I don't think he told race control when the second stage break was supposed to be.
That makes
So
sense there.
I heard people coming over the radio. I think I heard Greg McConey. And he goes, "Wait, am I having a stroke? Or is there not a yellow yet?" There's the yellow. Congratulations to Ryan Moyer for being our second stage winner. That is the last stage we will have this race. Jeremy Gardner in second, Jamie Horn third, Greg McConey fourth, and Frank Marchese in fifth. Rest of your points winners for that stage will be Jacob Hutnick in sixth, Tyler Justice in seventh, Kenneth McCullough Jr. in eighth, Dylan Canova in ninth, and Austin Norris in 10th.
It looks like Ryan Moore gets off just in front of Gardner. So we're going to pan out the top four the same way we left it off. Kenneth McCullough Jr. jumping up a few spots. Austin Norris back here coming up into sixth. Brandon Trush jumping up a few spots. I believe Hutnick has some damage he might be repairing right now.
Yeah, I believe he's going to be repairing some damage, as is Tyler Justice, Dylan Canova, and Jake Euler, all still on pit road.
Well, we are about to get back green here. Special shout out to Sunbelt Rentals for sponsoring the league. Helping these guys be able to put on a show every single Monday night, helping us stay up here in the booth.
We appreciate them greatly.
It's been a good time.
It has been a good time. I know we have a lot of fun broadcasting for this league, and looking forward to a even more exciting season to come. Speaking of exciting, halfway point of this race, the pace car is off. We are getting ready to get back going green again. Ryan Moyer, Jeremy Gardner, Jamie Horn, Greg McConey, and Kenneth McCullough Jr. bring him to the green. Great jump out of Ryan Moyer. Jamie Horn trying to ride that inside on Jeremy Gardner. And in a replay of the last couple laps of that run, Gardner's able to pull away.
Looks like Frank Marchese's on the top side here. Brandon Trush trying to work his way around. Gets
It's
by.
starting to look like that high side's got some heat.
Got to be careful with it. Cannot fall into temptation, right? It's fast up there, but it will burn you up.
Like you said, 118 at Dover, which is already a slick track. McCullough Jr. and Trush get really, really close right there.
Yeah, McCullough Jr. is falling back a little bit, having some trouble here, looks like. Oh, Tyler Justice and Austin Norris into each other.
Everyone's still trying to figure out their line again, get back to where they want to go. You're also on cold tires as well, so that's a lot of times where we'll see some of the accents flare up. Looks like McCullough Jr.'s a little bit loose, so I would assume that's what that is, but...
Yeah, speaking of flare up, I got Jamie Lipke in the comments saying pretty wicked solar flare late last night. Might have something to do with some pretty spotty internet stuff throughout the day. I'm going to blame Rocky from that Trash Panda team for chewing a little hole in our power line.
The sun, the raccoon, same thing. That is really crazy, though. Ooh. I didn't know that about the solar flare. A little bit horrifying how that can happen, actually.
Not a chance I'm looking up what solar flare is right now.
Cut to 2 hours later, and you and me are just talking. You've got a Neil deGrasse Tyson video playing in the background.
That's exactly who my mind went to there, though.
You were born in somewhere in the mid-90s. Whenever you think of stuff with space, you're just like, yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson. I trust him and his mustache.
Actually, I'm just joking. Ryan Moyer is in first place right now. I was going to look at Frank Marchese. Brandon Trush is in the wall down there at the bottom side. Jake Euler right behind him. That left front is locked up on Trush's car.
That's going to be unfortunate. Hopefully he still has a faster pair available. Oh, Jake Euler trying to get it going. Saw a big cloud of smoke come out of the back of that thing as he was trying to get it reared back up.
I believe Austin Norris was able to squeeze through that one. Is Canova out for the night? He is still on pit road?
He's still on pit road.
Something tells me that Brandon Trush still has a faster pair. The way he's flinging that thing around, trying to stay on the lead lap here.
Yeah, trying to get that thing fixed. And Jake Euler definitely looks like he had some damage to him. Interested to see what started that one. Weird, as you said that the Canova was still on pit road. I did just see he had disconnected. So, end of the night for Dylan Canova as well.
Yeah.
That's going to leave you with 11 cars on the lead lap.
I am going to cut back to a replay. I'm curious to see what's going on here with Trush. I believe he has to have a faster pair. Though he's not taking pit road, stay on that lead lap. He can go in, maintain lead lap, and come out really 7th place, 8th place here. Oh, 9th place behind, 10th place. Jeez, man. He's going to come out somewhere in the top 20. I believe actually he's going to be coming out in 10th.
And was Trush able to get it around as well?
Yeah, that's what we're watching right now. That left front is, I mean, not moving a bit. Thing is locked up. He's going to bring it down pit road here.
Jake Euler did the same exact strategy.
Trush looks like he's going to park it for a second. Hopefully he can get that thing moving again.
I would say, assuming he can still get it moving.
Yeah, Jake brought it down the lap before. All right, let's cut back to that replay really quick here.
Yeah, I guess Euler took the penalty for going down pit road early, so he's going to be at the back of the longest line.
Brandon Trush got loose coming off. I'm not really sure what happened with Euler there. If he got loose as well, just in a different spot. See if we can hop on board with Jake Euler from Euler Sim Racing. I believe he might have thought that Trush was going to be moving up the track. Was trying to avoid it. See if we can check in on Brandon Trush back here, coming back around. Pace car is off. We're about to go back green flag racing. Ryan Moyer with a great jump there on that inside. Jeremy Gardner a little slow on the top side. Slows up Jamie Horn. Hutnick's going to push in and make an accordion. Horn drops low behind McConey. And then Gardner right back on the gas.
Brandon Trush was able to get it back going and stay on the lead lap, but he is going to be well behind the rest of the pack, 10 seconds back already in 11th.
Jeremy Gardner wastes no time, takes that lead right back here.
'59 of Ryan Moyer, they're right on the bumper of Jeremy Gardner. Greg McConey, who's been there in contention all race long. This is where he's going to start to look to make a move on lap 118 of 200 here at Dover.
Like Hutnick down at the bottom there.
Yeah, I don't know if he felt himself getting loose or if something snapped a little bit, but he went all the way down to the bottom of the track. Tyler Justice able to get around him in the 03 of Kenneth McCall is right there as well. Jake Euler, who we just saw involved in that last accident, still right there in the run in 10th.
But I believe Euler was 2 laps down early this race, so good on him to bring it back, get it back around, even with that wreck there.
Yeah, I think he was in a little bit of trouble earlier on, and I think he didn't use his fast repair then, which definitely worked out because, I mean, that was going to be a good 7-8 minutes of repairs, I feel like. Ryan Moyer looking like he's able to close in on the bumper of Jeremy Gardner going into entry. But Gardner doing such a good job there, diamonding out through the turns. Able to put that gap right back where it was. Craig Bontrager in the comments saying, let's go 36, rooting on his teammate in that Rogue Energy machine. Craig, while we have you here, I see where Jeremy has High Point listed on his race tag. Is that High Point, North Carolina?
Picture also had an Atlanta hat, Atlanta Braves hat. So
I like this guy. I like this guy already.
yeah,
What NASCAR drivers from High Point? Is it Blaney?
I think so actually. There's actually a guy in my class that went to high school with Blaney. So and he's from Greensboro area, so that makes sense.
I wonder what Ryan Blaney was like in high school.
Can't say on stream. According to the
Also,
stories I've heard.
Also where my head went, just to put that out there. But no offense to Blaney fans. I don't think most of us liked who we were in high school.
I certainly didn't.
I didn't. Starting to see a little bit more separation out of this front pack. Gardner able to pull away a little bit more going into those entries. Greg McConey still riding right there in third place. Still very consistent times. McConey looking like he's able to pull a little closer on the entries as well. But then it's on the exit, or as they go into the exits, you're starting to see Jamie Horn close in on that bumper as well at fourth.
Yeah, something tells me that 84 car in Frank has something in his back pocket there. Kind of the way he's riding around. Looks pretty smooth. Almost like he's not really pushing it too hard right now. Nice, easy Sunday cruise. I'm going to push it here at the end.
And we do have to start to think about strategies for pit as well. Because at this point, we do not have any more stage breaks. We had that caution there on, I believe that was lap 113. There is not going to be any more stage breaks, so didn't look like anybody else brought it down pit road at that point. So expect to start seeing some, if we stay green, some green flag stops somewhere around the lap 150 to 160 mark. At least for gas, and tires might need to be sooner depending on how these guys are running it. Our first green flag run of the first 50 laps. You can definitely tell those tires were getting old on those guys.
Yeah, the big thing too with these cars is they'll start to tighten up a lot in the corners when these tires start to wear out.
You want it to turn, it doesn't turn, you hit the wall.
And that's where I'm screaming, just because I cannot get my car to rotate. And it's nothing more frustrating to a driver when you've had a car that rotates for 40 laps, but on lap 41 it just decides to stop turning.
Something else to keep an eye on too, Jake Euler, after being able to get his car repaired, moved his way up to 9th. See the 77 of Jacob Hutnick there fall back into the 10th position. Brandon Trush going to be your last car on the lead lap. Also the last car on the track currently in 11th position. He's going to be 14 seconds off the pace due to getting that car repaired. Dylan Canova, Cody Bullock, Jae Vaught, Chris McCullough, and Craig Knoll have all called it a night. And if you're a baseball fan, Alex Verdugo just walk-off singled the Nationals.
Not the flex you would expect a Braves fan to brag about, but here we are, 2025 Braves. Bragging about walking off the Nationals.
Yay! I feel like I'm definitely starting to see some pacing out of this front group. Jeremy Gardner still putting down very, very fast laps. Got Ryan Moore right on his tail. Looks like Jamie Horn kicked it up there a notch for a second as well. Very curious as we start to advance the laps here now on lap 132. What people's strategies are going to be for pit stops, whether you're going to try to hold out as long as you can.
Looks like Jake Euler's got something for Tyler Justice right here. Looking to the high side. He can push it out.
He's going to have to fall back in line here. He goes for the cross up.
Nice.
That was nice.
Nice diamond out. Get you a run. Cross him over. Take that low side and it's 1 and 2. Good move by Euler there.
Yeah, I see Kenneth McCullough in that 03 is also looking to the inside of that 33 machine of Tyler Justice. Jake Euler now got his sights set on Austin Norris there right in front of him. Great run out of the Trash Panda guys tonight as well. Currently running 4, 5, 6, but Jake Euler looking like he's trying to spoil that in that 7 car.
Jake Euler looks fast right now too. He just gave Tyler Justice the skibbity pap, looking high side and cross him on the low side. Trying to pull the same thing off here.
Oh, big tag of the wall by Austin Norris.
Let's see if he crosses him up here. If he's going to try to actually make the pass here, I think he would go for a crossover. Oh, he's going to have a run coming out.
Yeah, Norris hit the wall there, so I think Euler saw that and was able to hang on to that run there. Got Songs for the Struggle in the chat saying, not sure if you want this, but if you would like to shrink the iRacing watermark, use Control Page up and down. See, I'm scared of that though, because I don't know enough about the different like inputs you can put on iRacing, and I feel like that just might make the whole thing like break.
iRacing is a super mod-friendly game, I should say, not for like an online use, but they give you access to their entire like app any script that you can adjust and make different. And I have heard of ways to get rid of the iRacing thing. And to be honest, we haven't done it because I was told that we would get in trouble if we did. But I've been wanting to get rid of it for a while. It would also make my pictures look good. So I'm actually writing that down right now. I appreciate that.
We appreciate any sort of tips and tricks or little inputs or anything like that, but says, no, it's good, bro. I broadcasted for about 2 years. Oh, and please don't take that as that I was saying that in an accusatory way or anything, but that sounds like something I would do because I would think it was funny.
I've heard of a method where you go in the app any and you can make the opacity almost 0 I have not heard this one though, so maybe I can combine the two.
Thank you for the tip, Struggle. We appreciate it. And we appreciate there's 25 people out there in the broadcast right now. We appreciate all of you for sticking around and hanging out and cheering on your favorite drivers in the comments. Give them a hoot and a holler here as we come into lap 141, 59 laps to go. Jeremy Gardner still out at the front of this thing. Ryan Moyer right on his tail. Been the kind of the story of the last couple of stages here. Jeremy Gardner and Ryan Moyer both run really, really well right at the front. And we've got Jamie Horn going to be about 2 seconds back. He was our stage 1 winner. And then you got the Trash Panda teammates there in 4th and 5th with Greg Marconi and Frank Marchese. Great run out of them tonight. And then you've got the 7 machine of Jake Euler, who's pushed his way up from 9th on that restart after being involved in that last caution. Been pushing his way forward, but you gotta wonder how long his tires are going to hold up. Jamie Lipke in the chat. There's a document in the help section of the iRacing UI that lays out the rules on streaming iRacing. That seems like something I probably should have read.
Looks like Jamie Horn's going to bring it down pit road here, sliding it. You got to get down to that 35 before you hit that cone right where the yellow cone is at. Able to make it in. I don't think he's going to have any penalty there. Yes, for our other league that we broadcast, we were told not to get rid of it, but mainly for pictures and stuff like that I do for cars, I would love to crop it, or some of the promo videos that we do. Just kind of like throws off the vibe a little bit, if you know what I mean. But keep it on the vibe right now. Jeremy Gardner still out here leading this race. Gonna have to bring it in soon. Greg Marconi trying to catch up. Teammate Frank Marchese right on his heels. Also got Jake Euler making that strong push, up 9 spots right now in that P5 position. 2 good runs in a row for him. Hoping to get 2 top 5 finishes here.
I feel like it was kind of interesting to see the short pit strategy out of Jamie Horn. Don't normally see him go that route, but definitely not doubting, especially if he knows he has a car that can make a longer run. With 55 to go, I think gas is going to start to be an interesting point as well. I think Austin Norris may have also brought it down, because I do see him 2 laps down as well there with Jamie Horn.
Yeah, he's passing Trush right now. That pass is not going to be for position. Brandon Trush going to be in P9 right now. About 17 seconds behind the leader.
Jeremy Gardner still making a huge push here. He's got about 0.4 of a second of a lead on Ryan Moyer. Greg Marconi and Frank Marchese are about 3.7 back and 4.9 back respectively. Jamie Horn comes around that corner with a huge head of steam with those fresh tires.
Yeah, it looked like Moyer was kind of up in his way a little bit. I was trying to cut over to Jamie really quick when I saw it coming up. Cannot find his name on my list to save my life.
Yeah, good Lord in heaven. Look at the car that Jamie Horn has right now.
Yeah, that's just the difference between 50-lap old tires and brand new tires right there.
Yeah, and we were talking about that earlier. You can really start to see the difference, especially as you start to get into these longer runs, 40 to 50 laps. I mean, you're looking at Ryan Moyer and Jeremy Gardner, who have been absolute rocket ships, top 3 cars all night long. And then Jamie Horn and his fresh tires just went out there and zoomed around him. That is going to get him one of his laps back. But I believe Tyler Justice also just went a lap down, as he has brought it down pit road. Forge Val, a joke during the pit stops. What's bigger than a tuna? A Thrina. Hashtag free Rocky, hashtag Frank the Tank. Good one, Forge Val.
I thought he was going to say Frank the Tank.
Still had to throw the hashtags there at the end. Struggle said, yeah, you would definitely need the logo for this type of broadcasting. Reach out to iRacing and they'll send you the official logo so you'd be able to make the UI opacity 0 and replace the watermark with a logo.
That's super cool. I did not know that. And that will be done tomorrow morning. I appreciate that little tidbit there because I have, for a long time, been wanting to get rid of that. I don't mind showing the iRacing logo, but just let me put it where I can put it, you know?
And for those that don't know, this is like the first full year of there being a KnappDaddy broadcasting. We do TikTok streams of our own races, where John races and I spot, but we only started really getting into like professional broadcasting and like not just for friends and stuff, just in this past year. And so we are definitely still learning, try to get better every time we do this. And about the time it seems like we think we've got it aced is when we realize that there's like a million other things we could be doing. So thank you, and we appreciate the input. Leaders bringing it down pit road here this time by Jeremy Gardner and Ryan Moyer bringing it down. Greg McConey stays out on the track, as does Frank Marchese.
Man, I don't know how accurate this is, but Jeremy Gardner might have gotten a black flag there.
Oh, no. For what?
He was looked like he was speeding on pit road, if that is accurate on our dashboard camera or dashboard setup that we had there. Going about 40 coming in, slowed it down. He was still going about 38 for the first little portion of pit road. Pit road speed is 35 here. But Greg McConey's out here going to enjoy some open track. Get a few laps ahead.
I did see Ryan Moyer get off of pit road well faster than Jeremy Gardner, but Gardner now off of pit road.
Now there is some leeway that they will allow coming on pit road about how fast you can actually go. I guess we'll find out here in a few if he did get a black flag.
I suppose we will. Still got to wait and see what happens there, but your leaders now are going to be Greg McConey, followed directly by Frank Marchese. Jake Euler going to be in the 3rd position, and Brandon Trush in 4th. And that is going to be currently your only cars on the lead lap. We are going, obviously, through the pit road cycle here. Going to be curious to see how long McConey and Marchese can kind of keep it out there.
I'd imagine they're coming in right now. Yeah, here comes McConey. See him slow
McConey
it
comes
down.
in, Marchese stays out.
Okay, yeah, I don't think this is 100% accurate what I'm showing here. I believe it's a little bit delayed.
What's that?
Our miles per hour. But Frank Marchese out here leading some laps. First time tonight. Jake Euler right behind him in 2nd place. Trying to hold on to it. This is a different approach, different strategy, kind of a back-end strategy. I mean, you're leading laps now. You're getting out ahead. You will have fresher tires coming out. That's the best part about it. It's just, are you pitting at the right time in order to catch back up with these guys?
Marchese's bringing it in right there. I mean, it's an interesting strategy, especially the way that the field's been. I mean, Jake Euler was 10 seconds behind Marchese at that pit. So, I mean, he's got 10 seconds before the position even changes. Jake Euler now your new race leader. And I believe that's going to leave Euler and Trush as the only cars that hadn't pitted yet. Trush bringing it in this time by Euler. Looks like he's going to bring it in now as well, and that is going to complete the green flag cycle of pit stops. So for anyone that just pitted in the last couple of laps here, definitely on gas, they're going to be good. It's going to be a little bit closer for everyone else that came through, but they should still be good to go, I believe. As we can now see, you got about 60 to 63 laps of gas in the car. I believe everyone came down when it was probably about 55. That is going to make your new race leader, Jamie Horn.
Yeah, it looks like these guys, McConey pushed it 57 laps out there. Most of the guys coming on lap 155, so they should be good to bring it all the way around. Even Tyler Justice, who put it on lap 149.
Can probably push it through and make it.
Yeah, I think
those
you'll be fine.
Those tires are going to be dogged out by the end of it, but it's doable. But after the reshuffled pit stops all come through, your new race leader is going to be Jamie Horn. Ryan Moyer is going to be in second, about 4.5 seconds back. Jeremy Gardner going to be in third, 12 seconds back. So you're going to have Greg McConey 19 seconds, Tyler Justice 20, Jacob Hutnick 23. Oh, big wiggle out of Kenneth McCullough right there.
Frank's just trying to find a way around. And Frank should have fresher tires than Jamie Horn, so he should be able to be pulling away here. I think he just got kind of caught up behind Kenneth McCullough Jr.
But he is, I mean, that was Frank getting his lap back. So he's got to go all the way back around the track. He's 24 seconds-ish behind the leader at this point. McCullough Jr. also there getting his lap back. So if I'm Jamie Horn, I'm taking this opportunity to take it easy. The only person really I have to worry about right now is Ryan Moyer, who pitted at about the same time that Jamie Horner did. So they're going to be on about an equal playing field. Gardner about 10 seconds back, so he's going to have to be pushing it to get caught back up. And then for the rest of these guys, very fresh tires, so they've got the space to do it. But I think it's going to be a really interesting, like, last 10 laps or so, because you're going to have to see how well guys like Jamie and Ryan have been able to save. And then if guys like Tyler, Jacob, Frank, and Greg, Jeremy as well, have been able to save enough to still have a push at the end. Be able to use that about 10 lap better tires.
Well, I think the big push you're going to see out of this is going to be Greg McConey, who pitted last of all these guys. He's only 15 seconds behind now and catching up. Ryan Moyer should catch Jamie Horn here. He's got about 10 laps fresher tires than Jamie Horn. Jamie short pitted coming into this last pit cycle. Jeremy Gardner pitting on the same lap. Greg McConey 5 laps behind that. So McConey could make a good push here. He's already caught about almost 8/10 on this last lap itself.
He definitely could, and I'm going to be curious to see as well toward the end of this thing if Jamie's been able to save anything.
Yeah, it's hard, man. Looks like Ryan Moore's about to make that pass right now.
It looked like Jamie just let him have that low side.
Yeah, I think Jamie's tires are a little ate up right now. He's approaching about 33 laps on these tires.
So by the end of the race, he's going to be out on those tires for 60 laps.
Yeah.
Yeesh. I mean, we've noticed a big drop off by 45, 50.
I mean, just looking at the gap between Moyer and Jamie Horn, looks like Moyer's put on about 2.6 seconds in the past 6 laps on Horn.
Yeah, I was going to say, he went around there very easily, already has a half a second on him. Jeremy Gardner been closing that gap in as well. Jeremy Gardner was 10 seconds back just a few laps ago. He's closed that down to 6.8 seconds. He's going to be making a big run here.
Yeah, it looks like we're
Same for
showing...
Greg Marconi and Frank Marchese.
It's like Horn and Gardner, the delta between them two is about 3 seconds over the past 6 laps. Between Gardner and McConey, I'm showing only about a second between the last 6 laps.
Gardner McConey's not going to be as much. McConey and Horn probably is a little more significant.
Yeah, McConey has a really good shot to at least catch a podium here. If not, I mean, he could pull in just a little bit closer for the next 25 laps. He does have a little bit fresher tires, but Gardner has been fast all night.
I was going to say, we're kind of seeing the top 3 right here of who's been pretty much leading all the laps here tonight, but then you've got the other guys. You got Greg McConey, you've got Frank Marchese. All been very fast. Jacob Hutnick and Tyler Justice done a really good job tonight as well. Been kind of up and down through the pack. And Kenneth McCullough Jr. just a really good job by him to kind of dodge the bullets. I know he's been close to a couple of the cautions and to kind of fight his way through and still be on the lead lap here.
Yeah, making the pass on Tyler Justice right there, able to get around him.
That is going to be for position that is going to move Kenneth McCullough Jr. into 7th place.
That is Jake Euler getting around Jamie Horn right there. That is not going to be for position.
And Jake's still got to get up there and catch Ryan Moyer and get his lap back. Jake is going to be your first car a lap down in 9th position. You've got 2 other cars a lap down. That's going to be the 23 of Brandon Trush and the 82 of Austin Norris. $20 to go this time by Ryan Moyer, almost a 2-second lead on Jamie Horn. Jeremy Gardner trying to get caught back up. He's cut that gap on Ryan Moyer down to 5.6 seconds. Gray McConey looking like he's still closing in a little bit. I believe he's up a couple of seconds over the past couple laps. Frank's distance back has stayed pretty consistent. He's still about 15 seconds back on those leaders.
Yeah, looks like Frank is making some time over Jacob Hutnick behind him. Trying to catch up to his teammate.
I really do wonder at this point. I wonder if anyone's trying to save something in the tank or if this is everyone kind of leaving it all out there at this point.
I think at this point you got to send it.
Ryan Moyer there closing up on the bumpers of Tyler Justice and Jake Euler there, trying to put them back a lap down. He is going to get around Tyler Justice, it looks like, this time by. Looks like Frank Marchese made up a second that last lap, down to 14 seconds. Greg McConey still sitting at 10 seconds back. Jamie Horn 2.6 back on Ryan Moyer, and Jeremy Gardner now under 5 seconds back on the leaders. He's 4.8 seconds behind. Gonna be 15 to go this next lap by.
Yeah, Gardner's still making up some time on Jamie Horn here, but it's going to have to step it up just a little bit. I think he'll probably catch him, but if you look back here at Greg McConey, he was 15 seconds behind earlier, about what, 15 laps ago? Now
Yep.
He's all the way up to 6.5 seconds behind. That's gonna be 6.5 seconds behind Gardner, at least.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm still showing 9 seconds back, which is up. It's still up a little bit on the leaders. He was 10 seconds back, so he's gained about 5/10. But at this point, with just 14 to go, that's not going to be enough time to make up the gap that you need to. Marchese, same thing, moving up. He's down to 13 seconds. That's up a second.
Yeah, McConey down, looks like about 10 seconds on Moyer, but only down about 16.1 on Jamie Horn. Only 4.8 behind Jeremy Gardner, still gaining.
Those guys are definitely in a position to try to get up there and get themselves a podium. I did see Jeremy Gardner's time on the leader fall back a little bit, but he is still closing in on Jamie Horn. He's now only a second off of Jamie Horn. What a great run by Jeremy Gardner, man. I mean, I know we were talking about earlier in the race, newcomer to us, obviously, but you can tell the guy drives with a ton of experience, and to come into a tough track like Dover, you got your teammates out here, but you're also racing with a bunch of guys who maybe you've never raced before or haven't raced with as much in the past. And to get out there and navigate a really tough league and qualify well, practice well, be here running in third place with 10 laps to go and be closing in on a really talented driver like Jamie Horn trying to get into second place. I mean, that's a hell of a night as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, he might do it too. He's kind of pulling up there pretty quick with 11 to go.
So I was going to say, I wonder if for any of these... Sorry, I was hearing the race control come over with the 10 to go call.
Yeah, I don't think
And that battle,
anybody's going to have anything for Ryan Moyer here.
no, he is increasing that lead lap by lap. He is now 4 seconds ahead on Jamie Horn and Jeremy Gardner here. They're also about to come up on Tyler Justice in that 33 car, who is a lap down. So I think that could make a play into how they're able to work their way around and get this finish here.
Gardner's going to make the
there
pass.
goes Gardner.
There it is.
He is going to make that pass and get into second place. Running out of time to get up there and see if he can do anything about Ryan Moyer. Still works his way into the second place on the podium. Jamie Horn now going to get around the 33 of Tyler Justice. Not for position. That is, Tyler Justice is a lap down. Greg McConey back there is 9 seconds back on the leader, but about 4 seconds behind. Yep. Back on Jamie Horn. See if he's got anything left in the tank to get up there and get it done. Five laps to go this time by. What a run out of Jake Euler.
Ryan Moyer.
Ryan Moyer, sorry.
That's really close, though, ain't it?
Ugh, I mean, that one screwed me up I don't know how many times when we've been doing these broadcasts when they're running like next to each other and I gotta say Ryan Moyer and Jake Euler.
Greg McConey has brought that back into about 3.9 behind Jamie Horn.
Trying to chase him down and get that podium spot, but they are running out of time here.
Frank Marchese's going to be sitting 2 seconds behind his teammate, Greg McConey. Got a 9-second advantage over Jacob Hutnick, sitting in 6th place right now.
So it's going to be at least going to be an easy 4 and 5 finish for Trash Panda Motorsports here tonight. Really good run out of the both of them. Marchese dealing with some trouble earlier in the race with a couple of cautions and able to bounce back and get that thing back in the top 5. So great run out of him.
Brandon Trush is going to get around Tyler Justice as well. Tyler Justice falling back a little bit. Brandon Trush and Tyler Justice both a lap down, but that's going to put Brandon Trush up in P9.
You're working your way through the top 10. Every point definitely matters. So good for them. Still out here racing, still trying to improve the finish. Ryan Moyer just continuing to increase that gap. It's now 6.1 seconds on Jeremy Gardner. He is going to bring it around there, and that is going to be the white flag in the air, lap 200. Coasting it around the corners. Beautifully done on every level. Ryan Moyer, your winner here tonight at Dover at the Monster Mile. Drifts it across.
It's like Jeremy Gardner's going to be finishing P2 tonight. Jamie Horn P3. Greg McConey in 4th. Frank Marchese in 5th.
Jacob Hutnick going to bring it home in 6th. Jake Euler in 7th. Kenneth McCullough Jr. in 8th. Brandon Trush 9th. Tyler Justice 10th. Austin Norris in 11th. Dylan Canova 12th. Cody Bullock 13th. Jae Vaught 14th. Christopher McCullough 15th. And Craig Knoll in 17th. What a run out of Ryan Moyer tonight.
It looks like he's going to park it right there. I don't know if he knows this, but he can get in victory lane at this track.
Looking like he's like, I'm the winner. I can park it wherever I want.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
Yeah, just a great run out of him, man. So good. To pull it out in such dominating fashion at the end after Jamie Horn kind of ran the table on that first stage, led 48 out of 50 laps. Then to come back and just really kind of take control of this thing. Jeremy Gardner also racing up there really hard, leading a lot of laps. Great first outing in the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series for him.
As we mentioned before, flashing across our results for tonight. I mean, yeah, like, not every driver had the best night, but guys like Brandon Trush able to turn it around and make something decent out of it with a top 10 finish in P9. And nights like tonight where you don't have a full field, some of the drivers are missing that are ahead of you in points, it's the night to take advantage of it. I know Cody Bullock had a short night, Christopher McCullough with a short night. These are times that you got to really get out there and take advantage of it, move up in the points, and that's exactly what Brandon Trush did tonight. I believe that's actually going to put him inside. He was sitting 13th, I believe, and this probably is going to move him up even higher, especially with George Jewell not being able to finish the season out with us, so it will actually move him up probably quite a bit tonight. So good run by Trush out there. Greg McConey, Frank Marchese, teammates working together tonight, finishing 4th and 5th. I really thought Frank had something in the tank just sitting there in the back, but I mean, between Greg, Jamie, Jeremy, and Ryan, those guys were fast. Rocket ships all up front, moving forward. Jacob Hutnick ran into a little bit of damage earlier tonight. Got sent to the back. I'm not sure if the damage was still messing with his car near the end, but he had a fast car at the beginning, so I'm assuming so. Jake Euler kind of turned on the boosters there at the very end. Made up some spots. Kenneth McCullough Jr. is going to be finishing 8th. Also ran into some trouble tonight. I mean, looking at guys like Tyler Justice, Dylan Canova, that RER team, trying to get it done tonight, but Jeremy Gardner, their newcomer, getting a P2 finish for him.
Yep, able to bring home that P2 finish, like I said, just ran really great all night long, really fast. No trouble, didn't run into any trouble really, just very consistent, exactly what you want. Driving like that's going to get you wins every time, but Ryan Moore just had the better car tonight and very deserving of the win. I do have Frank Marchese in the chat saying, apologies to the 34 for our incident. Hit the brakes when I dove under him, and it just went straight. 100% on me. It's all good. We heard actually him call out the EOL on himself before the race control even had a chance to say anything. So all class out of Frank the Tank.
Absolutely. And I do have some of our guys waiting here in the waiting room. I'm going to pull up our third place finisher here in Jamie Horn. Jamie, got a copy of this in the booth?
Yes, sir, I do.
Jamie, it was a good run tonight. Really tough track out here. We looked at the track temps for a second, and it was up to about 118 degrees about midway through the race. Tell us how that was affecting your car tonight.
It was, it would get pretty free off towards the later part of a run. I had to really save the tires, and I really wasn't pushing it too hard in the first half of the race, and then I made a last minute decision to pit a little bit early, and so I tried to push it as hard as I could to get as big a gap in front around as I could, but that didn't work. But overall, the track temp was definitely causing it to be loose.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I had you on mute for a second there trying to adjust my mic that fell off the stand. I didn't mean to leave you in an awkward silence there. Yeah, we saw you do a short pitch strategy. Is the short pitch strategy something I'm kind of asking more from myself right now because I struggle with pitch strategy, but is that something because you saw yourself falling back from where up there at the front, or is that something you kind of had in mind to begin with?
No, actually, so I backed off. I seen him and Jeremy were racing pretty hard, and I backed off, and I was going to run it long at first, and then my brain decided let's do a short pit instead. And I probably should have at least run them back down before I did that, or got a gap a little bit closer. That way, where I pit, I could have got a bigger gap in front of them. I still don't know if I could have held Ryan off on the older tires, but if we'd had a late race caution, it could have got interesting.
Oh, yeah, I was kind of looking for that to happen at the end. Unfortunately, everybody got a little spread out. I know we talked about last week the nights that you need a caution. It seems like it never comes, and I think a caution would have benefited greatly here tonight. But going to the All-Star race next week, North Wilkesboro, how do you like your chances there?
It'll be a fun track. I'm not gonna say I'm great at it, but I like the track, so I think it'll be a fun track and a fun little event. So look forward to it.
Yes, sir. Before I let you go, any sponsors or shout-outs you want to give?
I'll give you guys a shout out. Doing the broadcast every week, do a great job. Sunbelt Rentals for sponsoring the league, and my mom at home watching, and look forward to coming back next week and racing again.
Yes, sir. Well, congratulations tonight on that P3 finish, and we'll see you again next week.
All right, you have a good night.
You too. That's going to be Jamie Horn, your P3 finisher tonight, looking to move up in the points. Well, I don't know. I think he's sitting in fourth right now, so he might move up to the third place spot, but definitely a good run out of him tonight. Coming up next, I do have Jeremy Gardner, newcomer to the league, at least for us. Jeremy, you got a copy with us in the booth?
Yes, sir.
Congrats on your second place finish tonight, man. Had a fast car all night. Practice looked really good. Tell us about your thoughts coming around this track and how you prepared coming into the week.
Honestly, there wasn't no preparation. This was a last-minute driver change. It was definitely a little rough tonight. Track temp was super high. I mean, it would fire off loose as can be, and I would get tight one lap and then loose the other. But devastating way to end the race right there for me. But overall, man, that was really fun tonight. Great battle up front there. I think it was stage 2. We were all just running hard as we could for the stage win, but had a blast.
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that point up. We were watching at stage 2. I don't think you were able to hold it off, but you held off both Jamie Horn and Ryan Moyer for quite a bit there. It was very impressive, actually, the way you were holding off both of them, covering 3 lanes at one time. Did you find yourself driving out your rearview mirror there for a little bit, or are you just keeping your head forward and running your line?
Kind of a mixture of both. I was trying to keep it forward because I know coming out of 4, I was getting super loose. So I wasn't trying to spin sideways and then take one of them out, or actually both of them out. But yeah, that first run I had in stage 1, I was just trying to fill it out. I mean, Jamie ran away with it, and then I started getting some pace, kind of figuring out a line, a better breaking point and all that. But I mean, it started to come alive a little bit late in the race. But I mean, I had a my little pit road thing, for some reason, it didn't want to check tires. So that definitely didn't help my night. But I mean, oh well, my debut tonight. I mean, P2, I'll take it.
Absolutely. It was a fantastic debut coming out here for the first time. I was going to ask you too, we are going to start with pretty much 0 points coming to tonight. You're going to need a few wins to get you up there. I mean, it looks like you obviously have the talent to get up there to the top. How do you like your chances going into North Wilkesboro next week?
I mean, I run pretty good there. I mean, it's dominant line, so it can make it hard to pass. But I think my chances are pretty good there. I'm pretty good at short tracks.
I don't know. Hunter's been dying to ask. Is the High Point, North Carolina?
So what?
Is that High Point, North Carolina for your hometown?
Yes, sir.
All right. One and only. That's what we were talking about earlier. I can't think of another High Point, so we're both North Carolina boys ourselves. So good to see some hometown people up there.
Yes, sir.
But before I let you go, any sponsors or shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, my guys over at GOR, Safe22.vet, Rogue Energy. Appreciate them guys. It's a energy drink that helps with your focus with non-jitter energy. Promo code RER for 10% off. Above the yellow line, and my guys at Premier Racing Setups, and of course y'all guys putting on the broadcast tonight.
Yes, sir. We appreciate it. Congratulations on finishing P2 tonight, and we're looking forward to seeing you back up here next week.
Sir, see y'all next week.
Yes, sir. It's gonna be Jeremy Gardner, your P2 finisher, coming in tonight. Again, not a new guy, but definitely new to us. And I mean, what a way to enter, right?
Yeah, second place, have a rocket ship all night long, and like you said, that stage 2 battle was super, super fun. That's between two guys who we have seen battle before with Jamie Horn and Ryan Moyer, and know how good they are already, and then see Jeremy go out there and do such a good job, and it's just really, really cool to see, and he's definitely going to be one to watch for the rest of the season as well if he can keep that pace going. And then, like you said, another North Carolina boy, you got to respect it, and you all share the same setup sponsor, I believe.
Do we?
I think you said Premier.
Oh, yeah, shout out to Premier. That's our that's fam over there. But yeah,
that's fam.
Coming up next, we do have your first place winner, Ryan Moyer. Ryan, you got us in the booth.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Welcome back, man. This is the third time, not third time back in the booth, but third time finishing first and being up here in the booth with us. What a fantastic run. Looked like you had a rocket ship out there, even at the end, just pulling away from cars. Did you think your tire wear was ever going to wear at any point?
I was doing pretty good. Even every time I pit, they were pretty even, but I hated that Jeremy had that mistake there. I think that was shaping up to be a good finish. It's pretty boring when it ends like that, but the end of stage 2 was very fun. We had a good battle there with me, Jamie, and Jeremy.
Yeah, it looks like you three were just monsters out there tonight, out here at the Monster Mile competing for it. I think this is going to be a trio to watch all season long. You also had guys like Greg McConey and Frank Marchese with great runs there as well. But, I mean, the end of stage 2, you three were battling it out there at the very end. What were your thoughts near the end of that stage where it looked like Jeremy Gardner was kind of holding off 4 lanes at one time?
I mean, that was a blast. You know, I'm here for a good time. I don't really, as cocky as it sounds, I don't like running away like that. I think that's fun when we battle like that. And if he didn't have that issue on pit road there, I think he had a pretty good shot there. It was holding me off. He was holding me off in the long run there pretty good. So, but you know, still a good battle. Like you said, it's going to be a pretty good battle throughout the season with those two guys.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun being out there with him. It's a lot of fun to watch from up here, just seeing all this stuff going on. Tell us about the line here at Dover. Did you find the inside working better for you? More of a diamond coming high and then exiting low?
Yeah, every time I would run the very bottom, it was just too loose off. So in order to keep that right rear pretty good, I have to diamond it. So if you ran the bottom, you would be dead after 20 laps. But the diamond, I think, tend to work pretty good.
Absolutely. Well, fantastic run. This is your third win. This is going to secure your first place spot in the points for another week. So, I mean, I really think at this point you're pretty much secured in the playoffs with it coming up pretty soon. But congrats again. Before I let you go, any sponsors or shout outs you want to give?
Just my team, Mid-Pack Motorsports. Aiden wasn't here tonight, but Jake put up some good fight until he missed pit road there at the end. He was running pretty good. That's about it.
Yes, sir. Well, congratulations again on your third win in the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series, and looking forward to having you up here next week.
All right, thank you guys.
Yes, sir. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Night.
And that is going to be your first place finisher tonight, Ryan Moyer, picking up his third win in the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series.
Third win. I think that's now 6 races, 5 winners, and Ryan Moyer has 3 of them.
Yeah, I mean, well, 7 races, 5 wins, actually.
Yeah, 7. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, great. I mean, those 3 guys, I think, and I think everybody else too, because Dover's one of those tracks that if you burn it off too early, you're going to fall back a little bit. But guys like Greg McConey, Frank Marchese, definitely going to have good pushes there and good runs. I would love to see Cody Bullock kind of get closer to finishing a race if he's out there listening, because I mean, I think he would be very competitive up there at the front. But just had 2 unfortunate weeks for him. Dylan Canova also super fast and kind of had a early exit. So it'll be cool to see him get in that mix. It's going to be some good racing for the rest of the season. Like some good quality talent from top to bottom. I mean, you saw guys like Kenneth McCullough Jr. and Christopher McCullough earlier this season working together so well. Then you got guys like Tyler Justice, who dominated at the Clash first race. Dylan Canova's teammates been having great runs. Brandon Trush, we talk about him every week, how kind of he sneaks his way up to the front and usually has a top 5, top 3 finish. So just top to bottom, this whole roster here is just fantastic. Good group of drivers. So it's going to be a fun season.
It really is. And like you were saying just a second ago, like you saw at the end there that Ryan Moyer, Jeremy Gardner, Jamie Horn battle, you know, that's obviously going to be great to watch throughout the rest of the season. But then there really is no, as weird as it is to say, given that Ryan Moyer's won 3 races and at least 2 of them in completely dominating fashion. You really do have such a good group of guys here where you know, it can be anybody's night at any time, and you never know what the caution situation is going to look like. I mean, we had a rough week last week at Charlotte with the cautions, and you come over to Dover, which is a really tough track where you expect to see a lot of cautions, and really just a very mild caution night. You know, it was just a really, really great run. So excited to see how the rest of the season goes. Excited to see where these guys end up, and it's just sure to be a good show. But I do know that before we check out of here for the night, we do want to give one more huge shout out to Sunbelt Rentals for being the series sponsor for us. We appreciate them very much for keeping us up here in the booth and keeping these guys out on the track with something to race for. It's super impressive what they've been able to kind of help us get built up with in this league for such a young league as well. But if you have any sort of construction equipment needs across the country, whether that's for just a little residential job around the house or your super large commercial industrial projects, be sure you check out Sunbelt Rentals. Very professional group of guys who will make sure that you get the piece of equipment that you need, or several pieces of equipment for whatever you need to get the job done. They will make sure that you are taken care of and that the job gets done and gets done on time. So again, huge shout out to Sunbelt Rentals. Be sure that if you have any equipment needs, you check them out at your local Sunbelt Rentals. And we appreciate them so much for what they do for the league. And then our final little self-promo plug at the end of the night, myself and John, besides doing the broadcasting here, we also are an iRacing design shop. You can check us out on KnappDaddyRacing.com for all of your custom design, template, logo needs for iRacing. We're going to be having some of our broadcasting tips and tricks, as well as some camera angles up there on the website soon as well, so be sure to check those out. You have some shirts and hats you can pick up if you're not into iRacing and just want to help support the boys. And be sure to check us out here live every single Monday night for the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series. And be sure to check us out on the other social media. Everything is at KnappDaddyRacing, including our TikTok, where we try to stream as often as we can for some of our own racing. And then finally, just shout out to everyone that joined in to the race tonight. There was one point where we had 34 concurrent viewers, which I think ties our all-time record. So thank you. We really, really appreciate it. I cannot say that enough. We love being able to come out here and broadcast for the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series and be able to kind of see some of the same names in here every single week and get to know everybody and to see new names, and people were dropping us tips and tricks tonight. It was awesome. It was just really, really good night. But thank you to all of our sponsors, and thank you to you all for tuning in week after week. We appreciate it.
That was good. Good little rig there. But
Thank you.
yeah, that's gonna be just about it for us tonight. You could check us out next week, same place, same time, Monday night starting at 8 o'clock. We were starting at 8:15. We're going to bump that back to starting at 8 o'clock now so we can catch a little bit more practice, get a little more time to interview these drivers and hear what they have to say, do some track walkthroughs. We'll be heading to North Wilkesboro. Woo. I don't know, that was a tough one. Next week here on KnappDaddyRacing at 8 o'clock with the Sunbelt Rentals Racing Series, Cup Series, I should say. It's sure to be a good one. North Wilkesboro is always a good time. That's also going to be our all-star race, and I believe KnappDaddyRacing is actually sponsoring that race, so the winner of that race is going to walk away with a win poster. If you'd like to see what these win posters look like, you can check it out on our Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, on our social media platforms at KnappDaddyRacing. Be sure to check us out. Give us a like or a follow on those, and make sure you subscribe to us here to keep up with everything going on with the KnappDaddy business. But with that said, fantastic race. That was really good here at Dover, and I'm looking forward to next week at North Wilkesboro. Got any final thoughts?
Just looking forward to North Wilkesboro, man. Man, you always screwed me up on North Wilkesboro, too.
Yeah.
Dang it. North Wilkesboro.
We'll get it right.
All-star race. Be here or be square. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I'll make sure to put a pin in my mouth and rehearse saying it in the mirror this whole week so we get it right. So,
Exactly.
yeah. Anyways, thank you everybody for hanging out with us tonight. Spend your Monday night with us. We hope to see you next week for the final time tonight. I've been John.
And I've been Hunter.
And we will see you guys next week.
Take care, everyone.